everyone, and welcome to Dangerous Cults and Where to Find Them, Chapter 1, Episode 8, Brothers and Sisters. Or rather, of Brothers and Sisters. I just noticed that Rick has been cheeky and gone in and finished one of the community challenges for the Dragon Age Inquisition game, so I'm just going to very quickly pop on in there and make sure that the ones who voted for Bull, which unfortunately has lost to Josephine, gets their channel points back. There's that. Oh no! My screen share keeps falling out. Why is that?
Yay, and I'm just disappeared into the ether.
Yeah. That is very, very
what
odd.
happens?
This
This is
always interesting to see what happens.
this is what happens when you try and do stuff.
There we go. Should be back. Okay.
Boo. Wow.
There we go. So, welcome to Dangerous Cults and Where to Find Them, Chapter 1, Episode 8 of Brothers and Sisters. We have a guest player with us today. Everyone, meet Ren. Say hi.
Not to be confused with Rin.
No. So now we're going to have Ren, Rick, and Ren, just to make it confusing. But Ren, like the bird. So, we also have some rather sad news. And that is that Hulda has decided that she needs to depart from Dangerous Cults. Simply because she has kind of bitten over a bit more than she could chew with regards to everything. Somewhere Bound, where you can still find her, has kind of taken off a little bit more than she expected it would. And that means that she has ended up spreading herself a little bit too thin, and we had a long talk, and for my part, as a GM, it was mostly important to me that she didn't end up burnt out. So we had a long chat, and she was not very happy about it because she wanted to, but she also realised that this would probably be best for her well-being, and we'd rather have a non-burnt out Hulda being epic and awesome over at Somewhere Bound than a burnt out Hulda who is just generally miserable, because that's not fun for anyone. So, also I just realised my character's Theodora and there is a teddy player. Oops.
Oh no!
Yes.
That was not on purpose today.
But yeah, so that's some sad news, but that also means that we could invite Ren to join us today, and we're going to start today's session with a little bit of recap, one could say, courtesy of Rick. So, yeah, Rick, if you'd like to take it away.
Picture the scene, if you will. Left alone, actually unmonitored, not too long after his recent suicide attempt / drug abuse, overdose / the rest. You know, don't dwell on the details. Archie is writing. Dear Elias, I am writing to a dead man, which is, unto itself, the weirdest or darkest thing that has occurred in my life of late. But that is why I am writing this, for the sake of sanity. So, after you died, most brutally, I might add, we did exactly as you expected. A lot of what you expected. We picked up the trail and followed it to a series of other kidnappings and brutal murders, which the local police were pinning on a most innocent chap from Harlem. We did set that to rights, breaking into the Juju house to rescue a reporter and a witness the full horror of the place was arrayed against us. This cult of the bloody tongue. Cooper was quite in his element. We did have a devilish waiter with us who made me rethink practical uses of drums and combat. One of them got into my head. Jackson. It left a mark. Almost killed me. But I live. More's the pity. Aisling knows. Sisters always seem to know. However, the day was won, the innocent released, and the cult, for the time being at least, defeated and dead. Very dead. Part of it, possibly. Now, Erica Carlyle, the sister, is our next target. Peggy would have made you proud. She got us seats at the table at the top. We are going to be right into the mystery here, old friend, and its clues will take us across the world. But you already knew that, didn't you? According to the will and testament. I nearly lost myself, but this helps. You help. I know now that our enemies are used to dealing with the most noble of humanity, but now they are dealing with the vilest, and I will not stop no matter the cost. Cost, I fear, will test me. Maybe I'll finish your book in the meantime. Blood and kisses. Archie.
Oh, that was a very well-timed little ping there. Thank you, Rue, for subscribing. From there, we will cut to a small bookshop in New York. It's on the off street of a bustling street. This one a little quieter. It's relatively late in the afternoon, and it's on a Saturday, so the shop will be closing fairly soon. There's barely any customers in there, but a young woman with brown hair and glasses and a big leather satchel has entered the shop, asking the person behind the till for that book that they had recommended and put aside for them in the back about puzzle boxes, while the shop assistant goes to the back to find this book. The woman peruses some of the bookshelves. Ren, would you like to describe your character?
Sure. Theodore is pretty firmly of average height, average hair color. They are really not all that much to look at. Kind of just a swirly, slightly scrawny, brown-haired guy wearing a pretty, like they're trying, but it's not really coming together all that well. Sort of a button-up shirt that's clearly very wrinkled, hasn't been steamed properly, a vest which wasn't buttoned, and has just a handful of books. Big glasses, which they're trying to balance the handful of books and also constantly pushing the glasses up. They are standing behind a shelf, and when they see the girl go by, just sort of crane their neck, sort of gaze after as she walks by.
As you go to the back to find the books that she had earlier asked for you to put aside.
Oh, I'm the shopkeep. Sorry,
Yes.
I figured I was like doing inventory or something. Never mind.
That's
Yes.
you. That is you. You hear some shuffling. It's a little odd. It's not the typical kind of shuffling that you would hear in the shop. And then you hear a lot of noise. In fact, it sounds like one of the bookcases has been toppled over somehow. There's the sound of the doorbell and the door shutting, and by the time you get back, there's no one in the shop. Oh no. Terribly sorry about this. I do not know why it keeps doing that.
I blame Ashley.
Let's see. Yes, let's blame Ashley.
Yes.
It is having some trouble with me sharing the Roll20 thing today, so I'm going to reduce the amount of applications here in an attempt to fix that. Possibly that might help. And let's see, there we go.
You can do it.
There we go. We are back.
Theodore Atkinson is pawing through the probably fairly disorganized back section looking for this book that was set aside for this woman who comes in every now and then, asks for very interesting things, and Theodore has still yet to buck up the courage to ask her what it is that she's doing with this weird stuff. And when he hears the commotion, "I'll be right out!" And then the louder commotion, still has not quite found the book yet, but rushes out. Nope. Has one of the bookcases fallen over or anything?
Yep. So the shop layout is has several bookcases that kind of goes in rows, and some of them block the view. And you see that some of the furthermost bookcases have toppled over. It looks like someone's kind of like torn it down or pulled it down or whatever, and there's books everywhere, all over the floor there. And it's like, you were supposed to be having a quick job of it, getting everything shut up or closed up today.
Panic. Just immediate panic on Theodore's face. "Oh, ma'am, the bookshelves. Oh no, is she under there?" And starts pawing through the books to make sure that the lady isn't crushed underneath this fallen bookshelf. Lady, you.
He very quickly realizes that there's no one under the books. But I would like you to roll a spot hidden for me.
Oh. I have very heavy dice. So I shouldn't have such heavy.
Question.
Excellent. So do I. Metal
Question.
dice. Yes.
Is it spot hidden or spot squished?
Spot squidden.
Alright, well.
I couldn't make it work. I'm sorry.
Spot hidden is actually, yeah, looking at my character sheet, spot and hidden is my best skill. But I fail. I fail real bad. I rolled a 94.
Ooh.
Oh,
Cool.
no.
Do you want to
Starting off
push
strong.
that?
Alright.
Or maybe someone would like to offer a reroll.
You know what? I already said that Theodore was really panicked. Let's just go with it's fine. It's okay.
Respect. Respect.
Okay.
Ma'am, you're...
There's no one there. But there's a lot of books on the floor.
Theodore's gonna jump up and sort of look, like open the door to the shop and look outside. Ma'am?
Not a soul. At least not that looks like her.
There's there's nobody else in the shop shopping right now, right?
No. It's kind of... Oh, Sigis is asking if you want to re-roll. Or no.
Alright. Then...
If you're offering... Let's see. If we get a little...
Then Theodore will, lock the door to the shop. Look at this mess. And start picking things up.
You get a re-roll for your spot hidden. OCD engage. Rude.
That's better. I rolled. Oh no, that's not better.
Mathematics.
I rolled 0, 0, 0, which I believe means that's 100, right?
Oh dear.
I'm like, oh, that's better. Oh no, wait, 0, 0 means oh no.
Dice jail? No, this is when
That's
Ren
not
goes
fair.
to
I've
jail.
never used these dice before. These were my birthday dice.
Straight into jail.
Oh.
This is not fair.
It's like my they hate me. You just have to let go.
That's how the fire started,
That-
wasn't it? That's how the fire started, right? She's got 100. I know. I'll burn this place clean.
Oh dear.
Oh my gosh.
As you're... why does that keep
You know what?
happening?
That's fine. It gives me time to take a picture of this disaster.
You know what?
We don't need it.
No. I'm just going to very quickly readjust the cameras and just drop that thing entirely.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to worry about it, because I'm getting a little bit sick and tired of it.
So while we're sorting that, we need to talk about something. All
Oh
of us,
dear.
really, because I've got a bucket list for this entire campaign. One of which, as an example, is to do a good cop, bad cop with Cooper. Now, if you want to see that, and the good cop, bad cop, that will shock you who is who. But if you have any wishes for the rest of this campaign, I'm curious to see what you're hoping to see. Keep it appropriate, Roro. Lutra, I on you.
Grabbing new dice.
Get them new dice. Oh.
I have become Peggy.
Yes, you have become Peggy. You're going to be swapping spaces very soon.
Ren has become Teddy in like dice rolling.
Oh yeah. Teddy's been our Will Wheaton so far.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah.
I've got
Just swap it out for a different Teddy.
Yes.
Yeah, new Teddy, new rules.
my birthday dice are angry at me for not having used them yet.
Oh, see that's enough to give you cursed rolls, isn't it?
You have to take them out for a date and ask
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
are and just get a deep connection.
Do you want to scroll through?
Yeah, wine and dine.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Wine and-
dice. Could we go
Wine
for,
and
like,
dice,
some,
yes.
like,
Not
wine
wine
and
and
sushi?
dine. Wine and
Maybe like
dice.
some like a 3-course
There we
meal because I like to
go.
do wine
Okay.
and dine before you fuck me. Yep.
Very important not to skimp on the dessert. That's what ticks them off.
Let's do a
Every
test roll.
campaign has a Wheaton roller. I am ours
If
for
I had
every
rolled
campaign.
these dice, what would I have got?
Letters.
36.
Yeah.
So, all in favour of Ren getting to keep the result of their nice dice. Please post a tentacle in chat.
I will not.
I will
post
give.
anything
Or
with
I.
to account
I
for
will
the
do.
right now.
I will do.
I will give a free sub if we keep the 100.
Keep the 100?
Oh.
If we get the 100 dice roll, if we stick with that, I will give a free.
You're
So-
cruel. Of course you vote for disaster, Michael.
You know what?
Was what I wanted.
Let us continue with disaster.
I'm
Unless
always a fan of disaster as a motivating factor.
So, luckily you were not in a life or death threatening situation. There are no guns in the bookshop, unlike a certain hotel room. Let's not talk about that.
That is not fair. That is...
Oh, thank you for gifting a sub.
There, gift a sub for my own disaster.
Wow.
2 subs.
And then
Goodness.
somebody gifted a sub to my personal account.
There you go.
It was random.
Alan.
I want my
Balance.
money back.
Yes. What does happen, though, is as you kind of try to get out of this mess, because while you've been trying to remove books from the floor, you've kind of half covered yourself, and you take hold of one of the now empty bookshelves in the shelf that you managed to push back into place, but instead you kind of, oh my goodness, we have a hype train? Well then, thank you. The shelf breaks, and the entire bookcase falls back on top of you.
Alright, yeah, I'm picturing like shells falling down. One of them kind of clocks me in the head. My glasses fall off, which means I can't see anything now, and just stumbling, falling disaster.
You lose 2 hit points.
Perfect. I'm up for this.
This is Evie and the Mummy all over again.
Oh no!
Oh, good grief. I mean, it could be a bit of a domino effect, but no, I think this is bad enough. However, in your poor luck, you do notice something else that you weren't looking for at all. Because lying there on the floor, you get a very good view to the gap under the shelves. And there's something under one of them.
Or just like scrunches up his nose and gets his glasses back on, realizes that they're filthy, has to scrub them off with the bottom of his haphazardly wrinkled, not ironed shirt, and then reaches for whatever this mysterious thing is.
You're going to have to be more specific, though, because the first thing I thought was that they found a body.
No, I said the small
Well,
gap under the
underneath
bookshelf.
Yeah.
If you can fit a body there,
I mean, it could be a body of a mouse,
that is
but
true.
I think that's probably not super relevant.
Well, I mean, yeah.
What you do find, though, is a small metal device, for lack of a word. It's kind of cylindrical, and it has lots of little gears, if you will. And it looks like those gears can be turned individually, almost like one of those code locks. And for reference, it's similar to that cryptex that they have in the Da Vinci Code, for point of reference. But it's longer. It has, I believe I said, 12 rows or 12 gears. And there are markings on them that you don't recognize as any language you're familiar with. There are also some odd symbols inscribed around the edges on either end.
Pulls this thing a little close to his chest. Just curse a, just for making sure this is okay. Just calls out again. Ma'am?
No one answers.
Little kind of mischievous smirk and just pockets this thing. And then starts to clean up again.
I'm fairly certain Theodore will try and make a very quick work of it, considering he also has another job later on in the evening. And with that, we're going to leave Theodore to clean up his mess, or someone else's mess, technically. A little bit of his own mess. And move on to the Grand Hotel. Oh my goodness, we're in a level 3 hype train. This has never happened before. Now, Peggy, Teddy, Thomas, sorry, Theodore, Teddy. This is gonna get challenging, I can tell.
I've ruined everything.
Yes, you terrible person you. And Archie. The three of you are probably at the hotel, you know, starting to get ready for the big night. Aisling had told you that she needed to pop out. There was some book she had found in a bookshop and needed to get hold of. And she promised on her dear life that, yes, Peggy, I will be back so that you can sort my makeup and put on my dress that you very meticulously picked out. But it's getting late and she's not returned.
I knew she didn't want you to wear that dress. It's beautiful, but she's just so stubborn.
For the record, we are now on the 31st of January. So we have skipped forwards quite a bit. So yes.
I'm going to adjust Cooper's tie because he's a savage.
Ivy is super quiet, I'm told. Let's just knock your user volume a little bit up. Yes, very low, Ivy. And boost this a little bit.
How do you know how I feel?
I just can't believe you got away with saying that you knocked up Ivy. But, you know, it's neither here nor there. Anyway, yeah. So,
Rude.
Teddy, Cooper's tie is a mess, obviously. And if you don't believe me, I'll make you roll it. What's that, etiquette? Anyway, Archie's trying to help correct his tie
He
situation.
did it the French way, and that's wrong.
No.
Cooper's been studying medicine in France. He shows up in white tie, perfectly fitted and tailored.
And yet...
What you just heard was the machinations of Archie's fantasy wonderland inside his brain.
Yeah.
Some say
Nobody looks as
delusions,
good as Archie.
but they're all wrong. So no, you need to show off a bit of skin, my friend. You know, just yes, okay. Now you know what? I can't.
It's brilliant.
I can't. I had to sort myself out. Just...
Please let us know if you can hear Ivy a little bit better, for the record.
I mean, it helps when you say that and then nobody speaks.
Yeah.
Well then, we can test now. Hello.
Hello.
Is it me
Eggs
you're
you're looking
listening
for?
for?
Ivy's
Ivy,
louder. Excellent.
yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Aha! Where's my sister?
It's getting to the point where you should be leaving in a matter of like 10 minutes, and she has not returned.
Do you know what? She's probably just buried in a book somewhere. I think we should just go without her. She knows where we're going. She can get a taxi.
Some money down on the table so she can get a very nice taxi and get here quick in her normal clothes or whatever she's wearing.
Peggy, are you trying to get her to get a cab or buy the cab?
What's the difference?
That's a conversation that's going to require a lot more water. Whereas water, as the locals put it.
Sure.
Wow.
Water. shall we?
I'm ready.
Yes. Cooper is, of course, effective as usual. A very good sergeant.
Just a moment, I just need to fix something, and Peggy runs to the bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
While Peggy is there, Cooper looks over to Archie. You're
What?
wearing the right shoes, by the way.
Huh, wait. Oh, hold on a second. Click, click. Nope, I'm wearing normal shoes today.
Peggy took him shopping.
Alright.
Of course she did.
Asked Sergeant Thomas, but he said no one showed her the very nice white suit from France. So she, of course, New York does not have anything better than that. So she left him alone. But Archie was dragged to all the shops.
Yes, his ear is still sore where the finger and thumb connected.
For the record, Sergeant Cooper, your wound has healed very well, and so has Peggy. Peggy will most likely have a little bit of a scar, but nothing like glaringly visible. And nothing that can't be covered up with a really
Makeup.
sassy glove and some makeup.
Oh, that is yeah. Yep.
Cooper already has a pretty big scar on the cheek, so what's one more?
What's one more? Without further ado, what is Peggy doing?
In the bathroom before a party.
She's touching up her makeup. She is back very soon.
You easily get a taxi, and you get to the Waldorf without anything happening. You all, Teddy, Sergeant Cooper, and
Mr. Burnett.
Peggy and Aisling had to dish up quite substantial sum beforehand to get that background check through. Basically, it's a fundraiser, and so to be allowed to participate as a guest, you have to contribute to the fundraising. So we can talk money later, but yes, it has been a substantial sum. As you arrive, it looks like what you would expect of a bit of a Great Gatsby party, really. There are red carpets rolling down the stairs. There are, people taking cars away to be parked. There are people helping people out of cars, and in some cases even like over-the-top flamboyant horse and carts. Everyone is wearing their absolute best, dressed to the nines, looking like $1 million, and Peggy seems to just fit in. You're all kind of led in by the red carpet into the stunningly decorated lobby of the Waldorf, and then further on guided into one of their biggest conference rooms, if you will, or ballrooms. Here there is a stage set up, and there are several tables littering the room all over the place. You are given some cards with your seating, and a bit of a list of a who's who and who's sitting where. And for those of you who are familiar with such things, you probably notice quite a lot of big names in the New York high society. The table that you're seated at is the most centered table in front of the stage. Sorry, just got lights in my eye. Archie, that's an alias. Archie is simply referred to as the +1. All over the floor there are waiters walking around with trays of champagne, offering to all the guests. And yeah, Peggy, Ivy, would you like to describe what Peggy is looking like today?
I had a perfect picture, but I didn't save it.
Just describe.
I was gonna say,
We will use our imagination.
I have to find something.
Imagination.
Oh, yes, I know exactly. So she's done something with her hair, not the usual bob, but it's still quite similar because she's not really good at wow, hairstyling.
Little Freudian slip there.
Oh no.
The cosplay.
The secret
It's
is
a
out.
cosplaying
No.
slip.
Peggy is bald. No. And she has a very simple black dress, but it shimmers every time she moves, and that's because it's just thousands upon thousands of embroidered pearls and real pearls and glass pearls and stuff like that in different gemstones and stuff. Yeah. But everything's black, so you don't really see it before she moves. But over that, she wears this heavy velour. Velour? Is that
Yeah.
velour? Yeah. Yeah.
Velvet. Yeah.
A velvet drapery jacket thing. Like, it looks like it's a cocoon, kind of, but it's pinched in front with a really nice brooch.
Yeah.
I have the picture in my brain, but I can't
It
really...
sounds very 1920s.
Yes, very luxurious, and it's in a deep gold, so it looks like the fabric is gold, but that's not possible, but it's very close to actual gold, but not. Yes.
Nice.
And very stylish high heels.
I think you should
So
literally.
she's taller than nearly everyone.
You should just literally wear gold. Just
No,
literally.
she's smaller. Yes, there's gold threads in it, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, Peggy's actually short, I think.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's short and stout. Oh, I don't have my book. But yes, that's what she's wearing.
Yes. In this company, she doesn't, for once, stand out that much. But she's certainly a stunner.
Hey. Ask me what Archie's wearing.
Yes, Rick, what's Archie wearing?
I don't know. Peggy, what's Archie
Nothing.
wearing?
I
Oh.
That was cruel. I'm sorry.
didn't hear that because what?
I just said when they asked me, what's Archie wearing? I said, I don't know. Peggy, what's Archie wearing?
Please tell me
Well,
he's
the
wearing
nicest
trousers. Yes,
suit,
he would not be
and
let in.
everything is spotless.
Not for long. Let's continue. Yes.
Yeah, that was Archie.
Yeah.
Yep. The suits
Cooper.
in 1920s for men is really boring. So it's
Yeah, Cooper shows up in his examination suit, a perfectly tailored white tie, tails, top hat, mustache, perfectly trimmed and curled, and with a few honorary medals hanging from his chest.
Nice.
And on the inside of the jacket, a .32 revolver.
Oh, he's
Well,
packing.
Peggy has her sword cane.
Cooper is
so-
packing.
So, Theodore,
Mm-hmm.
you did note down the name of the woman who was looking for the book. At least, the surname.
Right.
Which is Burnell. And you probably also recognize the surname from some academic stuff about linguistics. So you're fairly certain that she's a professor of sorts.
My headcanon already just immediately, because I have nothing better to do with my time, apparently, was that Theodore doesn't encounter a lot of women who come looking into weird stuff. And so even without really knowing her first name, has like the start of this like crush. And so he remembers. Yes. Like like handing her the puzzle box book was going to be his in. He was going to start, asking if there's any other, things that she's interested in, conspiracy theories. Has she ever heard of, the Devil of Leeds, etc., etc. But then she disappeared. So he's a little sad.
You have, more than likely though, probably had a very thorough perusing of the seating arrangements. And you have noted that a certain Miss Erica Carlyle is seated at the front center table by the stage.
Excellent. So despite, Theodore striking out a little bit earlier, he's focused now. Like, the mysterious missing lady's still, in his mind somewhere because he's, a guy. But headed over to the hotel after his shift at the bookstore. He's actually still wearing the same shirt. It's now tucked in. Threw on the waiter bow tie, different sort of blazer, which does mean that indeed the mysterious device is still tucked into a pocket.
Excellent.
And now he's just sort of poking around,
The device.
doing his job, hoping to get close enough to listen in on some conversations with Erica Carlyle.
Excuse my little refill sounds. I'm just topping up my sparkly mug. The guests are filing in, and it doesn't take very long for the entire hall to feel like it's alive with just flowing fabric and dashing men in black suits. The band that is playing on stage is just looks immaculate in their dressing, and play the type of jazz that is deemed as acceptable enough to not be scandalous, but scandalous enough to be too acceptable. It's afternoon here, I can pour sangria. Cicero works. That's very appropriate. After a good while of mingling, people start sort of making their ways to their designated tables. Erica Carlyle is hard not to notice. She is a rather striking blonde. She has this natural beauty where she's just pretty effortlessly, and not in the typical silent movies type of way that is very in at the moment. She wears a strikingly red dress, and with it she has the most phenomenal white fur. over her shoulder. It's huge, and it's like if she had worn it all the way up, her head would probably have disappeared in it. But she's wearing it off her shoulders, showing off the very modern cut of her dress. It is clear that pretty much everything on that woman has been especially tailored for her by some of the most top agencies of fashion in the world. Peggy notices very quickly. She could probably pick out the brand and even the seamstress. She's accompanied by a man, but it doesn't seem to be someone she is accompanied by, if you will. He keeps a good distance from her and always walks behind her. He's a big buff dude and has very much the bearings of a bodyguard. And when she approaches the table, he pulls out her chair and lets her sit down, puts the chair back a little bit towards the table, and then takes a step and a half back, remaining standing a little bit to the side of the stage. Close enough for her to be able to call out for him very quickly, but far enough away to not obstruct anyone's view. Yeah, the three of you are probably seated at the table as well. Fairly.
How big's this table? I mean, how many people are around? I can't remember.
There are. Let's see.
I don't care about any of the other tables. They're all losers. But this table, with the important people are sitting.
There's actually just you and Erica. Now, question.
Yes.
Did Thomas bring anyone?
Yeah.
As a +1?
Cooper,
No.
did you bring a date? Yeah.
Aw.
So, there are 2 empty chairs.
Am I your date?
No, you're Peggy's date.
You're Peggy's date.
Excuse me.
I can share. I don't mind.
Archie isn't seated at the kids' table. No. If there were a kids' table, he probably would have been seated there, but there isn't.
Oh, kids' table's got
Just
toys.
as an aside, I found the robe I was thinking of.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
That.
Yes.
So she's kind of wearing liquid gold. It's so pretty.
Love it.
Okay, sorry.
Kids don't have money.
Needed to get that out.
I'm curious, I don't think I've ever personally been to anything fancy. Is this like at a wedding where there are like little name cards in front of the seats?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
However, Archie was listed as a +1 without a name, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless he gave a name. I think you must have given some name.
Yes. In fact, the chat gave me a name I can use.
Oh.
Yeah. We've been working on it. Hang on. So
Poor
it
sheep.
was basically his name is registered as Jonathan Arn, 3rd Chippentosh McBorn Burnell. Or Boing Toe John.
That
That's a bit
first one,
American.
yes. Okay. Excellent. It's basically everything but your surname there. No, but your first name there. So all the surnames. And you probably noticed that there is a Burnell here.
Jonathan Arthur Chippentosh McBorn Burnell.
How
All right,
you remember
noted.
that is impressive, because I sure...
It's written in the chat.
Oh. Okay. For a moment there. You had me at the first half.
I should have rolled with that. All right, good to know.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have probably noticed that there is a Burnell that is
Alright.
seated at the table. The same surname as Your Houdini lady.
Yes. He's currently seated like this.
How good is Theodore with faces?
Like, massages?
I don't know.
Faces.
Let's see.
Recognizing faces and such.
Decent, I guess.
Roll a
Oh dear.
intelligence check.
Oh. All right. That was close. I rolled an 84. My intelligence is 90.
It takes a while, but there's something familiar there. You're not quite sure if it's just because your brain connects the names, but you could swear that this man has some... could be a family member or something, has some sort of similarity to the Burnell you saw earlier today.
Gross.
Her grandfather.
If he's doing that like very impatient like garçon tapping that it seems as if he was doing, I will come over with my little tray. Sir?
Oh, excellent. That is a very small tray. Are you not permitted to use the bigger trays yet? I'm just kidding with you. Do you have anything to drink? Do you have anything to drink?
Theodore
Drink.
very seriously sort of is like sizing you up, and you can probably tell that Theodore's making a weird face at you for a waiter.
Comprende inglés yet?
I currently have wine, but I could procure you something else.
Well, wine's fine, but if you're talking even more than that, then you are going to be my new best friend.
Obviously,
Is wine allowed?
the wine is non-alcoholic.
Oh right, time
Yes.
period. Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
there is
totally
champagne.
forgot.
There is champagne, which is basically like a non-alcoholic apple cider or pear cider or something.
Children's champagne.
Yeah.
Totally.
You
spaced on the
do
time
know,
period.
though, you do know that under certain circumstances, with certain amounts of money exchanged, there are things to be done with an empty glass. You know, from what you've heard on in the staff room, but this is this place might be a little tricky to get it in because it's got like reporters and press all over the place.
Oh, heavens.
So
we'll just slightly retcon, and Theodore will have said champagne.
I will.
But there is a glass
sub.
of, like fizzy stuff on the tray. There's a glass of what's clearly probably water, and there is an empty glass on the aforementioned tray.
I guess I'm going for whatever. Really, just pick one. Looking rather defeated.
Noticing the empty chair beside Mr. Barnell, will your wife also be needing a beverage?
Oh, heavens. Oh, well, that is a lot.
Heavens to Betsy.
oh yeah, it does actually say Aisling Burnell. But you do, just as you say it, you do kind of like, wait, if that was his date, she would have been sitting on the other side.
He said what he said.
Yeah. I'm guessing Theodore isn't really that into the whole ballroom etiquette thing.
Yeah.
Sadly, my my wife is probably going to be a little bit delayed.
Slight nose crinkle.
Polite
Indeed.
nose crinkle.
Slight. Just like a little like
Are you sassing me? I'm gonna do an insight check, or the hell is it? Psychology.
Yeah.
Cytology on Theodore, because nobody, and I mean nobody, asks about the sister. Because if you know Aisling, then you'll know about Archie, and if you know about Archie, you won't talk to Archie. I got 49.
Flawless.
Did you
Is
just?
that a yay or a nay?
That was psychology. Yeah. Be about 2 degrees. So.
Ooh.
Terribly unhidden envy, jealousy, something
Yes.
coming out of this guy. It's real weird. There was like also a little bit of a nostril flare when you said my wife.
Let me guess. You're one of her students. A bit enamored with her. Yes. Relax, my boy. Aisling is my sister,
Cooper's sitting there trying to hold back his laughter.
and I would be delighted to tell her that you are here when she turns up. I can tell you now, she would be thrilled to meet you
I do not know what you are speaking of.
in the back,
And turns around and walks away.
in the alley. Talk later.
Friends everywhere.
Poor kid, Archie. Poor kid.
Well, everyone has to grow up at some point, sergeants. Oh, gosh, this isn't champagne.
Can I get a quick, like what age the 3 player characters might seem to be?
Yeah, players, remind me.
Appearances or behavior?
No, age that they appear to be, approximately.
Peggy looks like she's between 25 and 30.
Cooper is well up in his 30s. It's 34.
Oh, she is 12. Michael's 12. I think Archie, since his recent dance with the devil, appears more middle 30s. You know, he's got a few more flecks of white hair that have appeared. Yeah, obviously, behaviorally speaking, he acts like he's a teenager or a child.
I was just curious how funny it was that you're calling Theodore kid. Yeah, okay, cool. We're good.
So, Erica, would you prefer me to call you?
Yeah, I think this is probably the point where Erica sits down,
Yeah.
that this happened before she kind of joined the table. As the sort of hostess, it's only fair that she is seated last. She nods at Peggy, and with one of those dime a dozen kind of business smiles, if you will. Like, Miss Andrews or Mrs. Andrews, I guess. I don't know what you use now. I read the terrible news, obviously. Been dying to meet you. I love your outfit tonight.
Oh, how wonderful to... I've been so excited to meet you too. Peggy's a little bit flustered, but tries not to be, like, little schoolgirl, like, oh, I've been noticed, oh no. But she's being... I was gonna say professional about it, but how... Yeah? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing her being a little flustered, some earnesty seems to slip into Erica's smile. And she's like, I am very glad that you could make it. Now, please, do introduce me to your friends.
Oh, of course, how rude of me. Well, this is Mr. Sergeant Cooper. Thomas Cooper.
Delighted.
He's been in some wars. Yeah.
A veteran of the Great War, madam.
Oh, so we have a hero at our table. She says that actually without much sarcasm.
Yeah.
It's kind of a genuine, like...
I wouldn't say that. The war was ugly.
Oh, sure you are. You're such a hero. You're such a good man. You're wonderful. So, I'm so
all
happy
our
you got an
boys
invitation.
did. All our boys are heroes for the effort they did. And now, what about this one here?
This fellow here is my +1. It's Archie. And she's completely forgotten the alias name.
Yes. Thank you for that, Peggy.
Archie. Is that your little
Oh.
pet name for him?
Yes, I like to call him Archie. He has such a long name, and he's been such a dear friend. I've just started calling him Archie because it's a nice name.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I used to have a pet name like that for from one of my friends at school. I totally see the appeal in it.
Oh,
I thought she was gonna say a pet,
a
but
pet.
I was so prepared for that.
Well, I got pet names for all of you. I'll tell you later.
So do tell me. I heard rumors that you were somehow a little bit involved in this whole Hilton Adams debacle. Please indulge me.
Yes, we would love to. Why won't you tell, Thomas?
Yes, Thomas.
Poor Thomas.
Without our lawyers, this will be great. There are lots of reporters within the vicinity. I'm gonna go powder my nose. Excuse me.
Just so I know, it was the whole Jackson.
Yeah, because it
I
was...
could take it if...
Yeah.
No.
It's been a
Too
massive...
perfect.
Actually, come to think of it, by this time, Hilton Adams has actually been... had his name cleared. And at least some of you have probably been called in as witnesses to make witness statements, and thus had your name connected to the case. And although most outlets and the police have tried to tone down your involvement as much as possible, there's definitely been some rumours.
Super good. That was ghastly business, madam. A very dear friend of ours met his unfortunate end.
It's ma'am.
Now,
Right in front of us. It was quite gruesome. So, of course, we had to avenge our friend, and then we ended up getting mixed up in everything. I hope you don't mind.
Oh no.
We don't dare trot on
Oh,
any of your
no.
toes.
Good grief. I would rather have guests who have interesting stories to tell than sit there like yet another accountant and yet another businessman. It can get tiresome.
I agree. It gets a bit much after a while just talking about and counting.
And you all seem like people who can actually deal with adventure without, going off the rails, so to say. I mean, look at you, Mrs. Andrews. You are known in most higher circles here in New York, and
hang on.
not a bad word spoken
Something
about you.
Froze on Discord.
Oh.
At least on mine. Oh, my internet just died.
Oh.
See you.
And it's trying to get back.
Okay, if the screens hop around again, that's because Rick's internet is struggling a bit. but the stream seems fine.
Yeah, it's just me. I am the defective one. I'm sorry.
Well, you said Archie left, so...
I have returned! Continue as you will.
Yes.
Pipsy?
Well,
Pipsy?
Peggy very clearly blushes under her fake blush makeup. Like, oh, that's such a compliment. Like, oh, I didn't know people around here talked about me. That's wonderful that people have such a good impression of me. I do
Are you
try
for
to do my
real,
best.
darling? That's all they do.
Oh, oh my. That's
I heard you had some interesting cases around Florida, Hollywood.
Yes. Interesting things seem to happen to me since Peru, and I'm quite excited.
Peru? I haven't heard of Peru. Oh my, you have to tell me all about it.
Oh, of course.
At this point, for the record, the first course of this meal is being served. Those of you who took a look at the little leaflet you were given would have seen that this is a 8-course dinner.
Oh, you only take one piece of each. You don't eat the whole.
Oh no, there's very little on each plate. It's your very typical, extremely excessively high-end chefs showing off their work so that someone in a high business management will hire them. And I'm going to tell you because none of your characters are likely to be familiar with it, but the chefs that are credited, there are several. And they are not the local hotel chefs. They have been flown in from, respectively, France and Italy. So everything that's put in front of you is like a little piece of art. And currently, there is a tiny little, piece of art in front of you that just smells very slightly tangy with a pinch of sweetness, and you have no idea what it is, but it's very inviting.
Archie's gone looking for Theodore, incidentally.
Oh,
Like I said, he
where
went to
is
Paris.
Theodore?
I was going to make note at some point in there that during this discussion about Hilton Adams and the interesting things in Peru, Theodore is sort of like tucked behind maybe like a pillar or something, and has just like this
Of which
tiny
there are a few.
notebook. Has just like this tiny notebook, just scribbling notes, just as fast as he can.
I have one question for you, Ren. Does Theodore
Yes.
have the puzzle box in his pocket?
Sure does.
Awesome. Because that thing
Made-
is a bulge. So...
I mean, it's not huge, but it is like this size-ish. It's like
It's I specified that I put it in the shirt pocket,
Yeah.
and I do have like a waiter's sort of like blazer thing on
Yeah,
over
and
it. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is
a
sort of
waistcoat as well.
bulgy.
I
Yeah,
see what you're saying.
I don't exactly have clean lines, but Theodore's kind of a sloppy person anyway. So
What I'm hoping to do is to make use of 75 points in sleight of hand.
Ooh.
If that's
Well,
permissible to you. I mean,
you can certainly try.
it's just the second I mention, which pocket it's in, it's on an inside pocket with things covering it, and plate mail, and like some barbed wire and attack dogs that are about this big.
also a notebook and a pencil, and
Yeah.
I'm like, so
I'm gonna accidentally pull out something else, like your socks. How did you get them off my feet? I rolled a 1. All right,
But
well,
you've probably noticed that this waiter, who's wearing a white shirt, a waistcoat that with the Astoria name tag on and a blazer. Has a little bit of a bulge that looks like there's something in their pocket.
Oh, you're just happy to see me. So, yeah, he does his usual thing of just not so very stealthily. Pretty much makes a beeline towards the toilet, turning right around, finding Theodore there with his notepad, and just kind of leans over his shoulder, looking down while putting his hand in the pocket. And just, the trick is, just when you think you're about to be detected, like your hand's about to be sensed, you surprise the person, so they're too busy reacting to that to notice what your hand's doing. It's a nice little
Roll
trick.
for it.
So
Rad.
the last line you see that Theodore has written was, "What was interesting in Peru? Question mark, question mark, question mark."
Also, please roll spot hidden, Ran.
Oh, good golly. Oh,
It is I who is hidden. Or not.
So, I got 47 on my sleight of hand.
I got 40 on my spot hidden, which is also a 75.
What degree of success?
You want to confirm what a degree
Is it a
of
hard success for both of you?
Oh,
No.
I see what you're
Well,
doing
oh.
there.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So, I'm going to put 10 points of
Hard,
luck.
hard would have been 37 or under.
Yeah.
want
You
this.
may also use
So
luck.
no.
You may lose you
You-
may use luck to add to your skill, if you will, or subtract from your die roll.
I'm doing
I'm
that.
actually, I'm actually okay with
I'm really
Archie
good. I really want this. I really want
getting
this.
getting this on over me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you do this?
Well, he basically, he's looking over the shoulder, looking down, like,
Interesting in Peru.
puts his hand where it needs to be, and just as he gets hold of the object of interest, says, "Well, I mean, Peru, I got all manner of it." Oh, hello.
Drops the notebook.
And then the
What?
puzzle box is literally like,
Yeah.
just look out of that. The attention's on his face, not on his hands. So at this point, he's just like, well, I mean, you could ask, you know, it's not terribly rude, not as rude as, say, eavesdropping. Do I
Rambles to pick up his notebook, pockets it as quickly as possible, shoots you a glare, and then just walks off to the kitchens.
Well, why do you have that? Return to the table.
Marmee.
You know what? If you're unlucky, I'll send Cooper to have a conversation with you.
Oh no!
And if you're really unlucky,
I thought Archie didn't care what happened to his sister.
Archie says a lot of stuff, okay?
He does that.
Yeah.
Theodore's just back in the kitchen now, just muttering about rich people.
Oh, that is a whole mood of 2021, isn't it?
Archie sits down and mutters about waiters. Because it's always a waiter. Why is it always waiters?
Track record. Peggy's deep in just telling the story about Peru, and that's how they met Jackson, and just creepy stuff, but we survived, and makes it stronger, and just very exciting, so that inspired her to do her detective thing, and yeah.
Yes, it is.
Her origin story.
Can you roll a charm?
Oh, what the thing she's not good at. Ironically. Oh.
I think she's naturally
You
charming.
and you have a bonus die for that. Which
That's
means you
the-
can roll the 10 die once more and pick the best
Okay.
one.
Woo. Thank you. Yeah, let's see. Okay. That fail, and then we try again. No. Nope.
Yeah. Fair enough.
She has a 15 in charm, so that wasn't very
Okay. What did
good.
you roll? The best result?
43.
Okay. Well, she's not completely, like, entrenched in your story. She is sitting there, like, twiddling her pearl necklace and listening quite attentively. That is quite fascinating.
Yeah, isn't it?
So,
If I knew how to write books, I would probably write about it one day, but I'm not big of a writer. I'm more of a fighter. That rhymed.
Oh, naturally adorable.
so you're pretty much a self-made woman, aren't you?
Oh,
I can
absolutely.
respect that.
Yes. I even own my father's business.
Well, that makes two of us.
Oh, that's right. Yes. You're doing wonderfully. You're just an image of business icon perfection. Something. My brain died in the middle of that sentence.
That's okay. Peggy's brain didn't.
No.
I should
absolutely
certainly
not.
hope so. My brother made quite a mess of it, but I'm glad I managed to bring her back into port, so to say.
That is so impressive. You are an absolutely impressive lady. Oh, madam, miss,
Ma'am.
ma'am. The one. Yes. Your
Well,
Highness
technically
knows
it's
that.
miss, but in business, you know, the men
course.
tend to respond better when you run a harsh line of calling me ma'am.
Of course, more authority. Silly little men.
It's a good thing Archie isn't back yet, isn't it?
Well,
Oh, is
Kind
he
of,
back now?
kind of.
Yeah.
Ah, just arrived. Wretched.
The second course is served. This one slightly bigger. It's basically like your exclusive, immensely expensive version of the whole melon and parma ham, but with like all the expensive, extremely gourmet little bits and bobs that would just lift it all the way up. There's probably even like some sprinkling of chocolate there. So, let's see. There is. Just let me check something. Oh, never mind. Never mind. My bad. So, do you ask her anything, or do you just share your stuff?
I kind of forgot what we're gonna ask her about.
Well, she is the sister of Robert Carlyle, and she did go to Africa to check the expedition that had been massacred, or rumored massacred. And I do believe your aim was to find out her intentions, whether or not.
Because there was something
Roger Carlyle.
iffy or something we
the word you
read
want to
between the
start.
lines in the newspaper articles.
Yeah, there were a lot
Yeah.
of little inconsistencies and such. Do you have your notes on that?
Well,
Remember also you can use the Miro board if you
Quick-
need anything, because
quick reminder,
yes.
if you'd like it. First of all, there was a fifth American who was never named. Second, something happened to a brother halfway through, and the Andrew Penhue took over. And when
great.
the supposed massacre occurred, we found out that despite the fact that Carlisle went down there and apparently confirmed the bodies, we later find out that the whole thing was a big cover-up and not a single Caucasian was among the dead. So either she's been duped and it's just a coincidence that she gets to take over the business, or she's a part of it, or both, or neither. So we just need to ask her, like, so are you evil? What would you say
Does
to
Archie
a
want to
bloody
ask this?
Oh,
or-
No. I'll just get her thrown out. I think.
Well, we can try you first.
Why me? I
course
always
you're
get it
gonna.
wrong.
Thrown out. But just trying to look at the stats for Peggy if this
Oh.
is the thing she should do.
We have a
'Cause,
little sorry from Lautrec.
I think Cooper should just tear his shirt off.
What's your charm?
Well.
I don't think I put anything in charm.
Me neither, so.
Yeah.
None of you are charming.
50.
Yeah. None of us are charming.
I
I
have.
thought that was.
I'm getting there.
I have 50
Can't
in
believe
persuade, and 75 in fast talk.
Fast talk, right?
I don't
But yeah, Peggy also has that.
know if fast talk's appropriate here.
For the record, for those of you who do not already know, Lutragem in the chat here is our keeper of clues and has been doing a fantastic, massive job on sorting out all the clues, going through handouts and all sorts. So we have quite a lot here, as you can see.
I should get better at note taking. I'm just written down that we're gonna ask her questions and get people invited, but I haven't written what we're gonna ask.
Allow me.
I was supposed to let you all tread water for just another moment. Since I am supposed to be working at this, I guess I am also assisting with bringing the second course around.
Yes.
And I am avoiding Archie at this point. I've like handed a plate to a different waiter and been like, "Can you deal with that guy?" He's, yeah.
Yeah, what does Ren do when he notices that Archie has the puzzle box in his hands? He's just toying with it, looking at you, and then gives you this wink.
He's not looking at you. He's just completely avoiding you completely. So he has no idea that the puzzle box is missing and that you have it.
Headcanon, he does all of that anyway, but you're not looking at him, so then he has this whole pouty face kind of thing.
Yes!
I already love this rapport.
Also, for those of you who are new here or aren't aware, we have a Discord for Call of Dice, and in which you can find a link to this clue board that's here. And so if you want to have a closer look, you can do so and find it at the server, which you can join. I've put a link down in the chat, in the chat.
Nobody should correct spelling. Don't do it. Nobody likes that guy. Okay. So, first things first. Miss Carlyle? I'm sorry, ma'am. I dare say I could stoop to that, ma'am. I heard that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to Carlisle's an adventure. Would you say that's true?
Is that so? What have you heard?
Oh, all sorts, really. Where do you want to start? Well, can I just ask, how much are people listening to us having this conversation?
There's a good space between each table, so that people can have a certain sense of privacy. There's already been like a lot of time for mingling, and now people are quite encroached in their own little conversations around their own tables.
Oh, cool. So, I'm really sorry to hear about your brother.
Yeah, you and every flapper in Hollywood and New York.
No, I mean, I'm sorry that you don't know what happened to her.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at these kinds of conversations, and I didn't. I feel like I put my foot in it now.
do indulge me. Do extrapolate.
Well, I mean, it was all just one big cover, really, right? That's what they do down there. It's really embarrassing when people want to disappear. You know, they just kill a few
She's
locals.
Gauging you with her eyes, like.
I mean, blame it on some tribe. Thank another tribe. Show you some boxes. Say that the justice is done, and let you go home. I mean, you saw the body, right? I'm sorry.
Peggy just puts a hand on his lap. Just what he means to say. We've been looking into the case, of course, because it was talked about everywhere and kind of very interesting. And it's what we do. We collect clues and things like that. And there was a few discrepancies. Do you know anything about this? I'm very sorry if we've overstepped, but
Bit
we're
late for
just
that.
a little bit curious. We have good intentions.
Discrepancies, you say. Now that is interesting, because while it didn't take much to notice the sloppy work of those savages down there in Africa, I mean, what can you expect? They're barely civilized, obviously. It did seem somewhat rushed.
No.
Yes, to you two, something didn't seem right? You have a little bit of a suspicion as well?
I mean, it all was very odd. But in the end, I'm fairly sure it's that Boone woman's fault, all of it.
Boone?
Oh yeah, Nishonka Boone, you know, that black woman that trailed around him all the time. I told him he should be careful, you know, that kind of people. They drag all sort of weirdness in.
Speaking from experience, the best con artists get you to keep looking at what you deem to be the obvious, while they're sneaking around decked in gold. But I'm waffling.
What are you trying to insinuate here, Mr. Archie?
Please, Brunel. And I think this is the wrong venue for this kind of conversation.
Oh, very much so.
We don't even have our notes with us.
Your notes.
Oh, well, yes. All about the whole shebang and the stuff that you didn't see or find out. Or the fact that what was that guy, Jack something? You know, the one that wasn't really useful, but he went along anyway. Anyway, what
Brady.
Chap, that's the chap, yes.
Jack Brady.
Yes.
Jack Brady was probably the best thing to have happened to my brother. It's a pity he didn't see it much. Not after he met that Nshanka woman, anyway.
Oh, you can ask him yourself. Word is he's in Shanghai.
Can you roll a psychology, Rick?
Oh, yes, please.
I do want to specify that Theodore's not listening to this part of the conversation just because they got caught.
Yeah.
So they're giving it some space. So I don't know any of this.
No. No, don't be like that. You got caught, but you know how you got caught.
Oh no, I know. I just don't want to know all of this stuff.
Also, I just realized that I have not done my usual, please be aware that there may be elements of racism and such, which is reflective of the time period, and that I am doing my best to handle it sensitively whilst not disregarding it. So if anyone feels uncomfortable or feels like this is not appropriate or not respectfully handling a topic like that, then please let me know and I will endeavour my very best to do better. Just so that is said.
What the heck was I doing? Oh yeah,
Rolling
psychology.
is psychology.
rolling for psychology. Yes, amazing. My psychology is 66, and I rolled a 51. What do I win?
You sense a very subtle shift. You sense a very subtle shift in her when you say that he has been seen alive in Shanghai. She's going from like this whole like yeah to the alive in
Well,
Shanghai, you say?
well, it was a couple of months ago, I think.
Oh
give or
no, you
take.
said, did you say Hong Kong or Shanghai?
I said Shanghai.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, it was last time. My assets said.
Now that's news to me.
So this is Peggy. Peggy's an investigator. I was never here, and I'm gonna go and see if they have anything a bit stronger than water. Cooper, can I borrow you a second? I want you to help me to talk to someone about a box.
All right.
That's how he rolls, by the way. Archie, he just smashes the door down and then says, "I'll let you do the cleanup."
Yeah, I'm
And
fine with it.
with that, we're going to take a short break because it's coming around to that time. And
Christmas?
no,
Oh.
we played for over an hour and a half. So we're going to be back at, let's see, approximately 10 to 8.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know
10
what?
to.
You know what that means? I tend to wait. Archie and Cooper are going to do good cop and bad cop with
Oh, dear
Red.
God. Your dream is coming true.
I make dreams.
What do you know?
Can we get spelling on the new person of interest, please? Which person is that? Is that...
The woman.
The woman.
Oh, yes. I will write that
The
down.
woman.
I will write it in chat.
Otherwise known as the scapegoat.
There you go.
That's the one thing that Lovecraft never really noticed, though. It's much easier to be a cultist when you're rich.
Hello, Gamer Mum.
Hey, Gamer Man.
So with that, we're just going to take a short 10-minute break and we'll see you back in approximately 10 minutes.
Yes.
So get your refills and snacks and bevies now. See you soon. Hello again.
Hi.
So, as Teddy is getting ready with his headset, I just wanted to, first and foremost, do a little shout out for Make Believe Live here on Twitch. That's basically how I met Ren here, through an interview there, and they are a wonderful channel that does a lot of interviews with people from tabletop RPG community, LARPing community, and basically a lot of geek stuff. And it's some wonderful, wholesome content, so please go and support them over at Make Believe Live. Also, please go and support fellow Call of Cthulhu streamers on Quiet Gentleman. Rue here is one of our among our first followers, and They were kind enough to give us a shout out during the stream before our first stream, and they're also running a campaign of or a run of the Masks of Nyarlathotep, which is very different from ours because it's a different edition and different different characters as well, and it's quite a lot of fun to see how tremendously different two campaigns with a lot in common to begin with can be when there are just some small changes and different players and characters in it. So please do go over at Quiet Gentleman and show some support to them. They're wonderful people, and we're lucky to be in the same community. I seem to be doing my best to die in our campaign. One gone crazy, one at death's door multiple times. You're very welcome for the shout out. It's the least we can do. We are a small community, and I feel like it's important to support each other and lift each other up. So, with that said, we are going back to the Waldorf, where I believe Archie is.
Archie and Cooper. Buddy cop. Buddy cops.
Archie and Cooper have left the table, so to say.
What do you
Literally.
want to do first? Do you want to continue the conversation between Peggy and Erica, or do you
Let's do Archie and Thomas first.
Yes.
Let
Archie,
Ivy
let's-
sit and collect her thoughts a little bit.
Bernella Cooper out on the scooter.
Also, gummy bears. Gummy bears.
Yeah, it was such a surprise. I come downstairs and
Totally
it's
a
just like
series.
If we're,
huge, multiple-pound bag.
if we're showing off snacks, I think this is the perfect time
Roadhouse.
to open this, because I may or may not have found Mythos beer. And I felt that was
Greek.
just too appropriate to not get one. So let's hope I don't spill all over the place here.
Yeah, it's actually quite good.
Smells like a decent lager. I'm here for it. Anyway,
I was saying to Rin this morning, when we were getting onto the chat, that I was highly amused that it was late enough for them to be drinking lager, and it's still early enough for me to be on my morning coffee.
yes, time differences being a beige. A bag of Starburst brand and Starburst brand jelly beans.
Well,
I've never tasted it, but yum.
some of us may have recently got a blood test back that showed one of us, has high cholesterol, which means said person can't actually have goodies and nice things in life anymore. But no,
It ain't me!
Still have whiskey.
thrusted into... That's not distilled. Vodka and gin, I think, are okay,
Yeah.
but gin just gives me
He's
PTSD
been
from the
very
days
good.
where my parents would, smother me with gin rags to stop me from crying.
Too perfect. Might have to buy one for
That's
IGM.
kind of how I don't like cognac, but yeah, that's.
I was gonna say, in Norway, it's got a gin rag, it's a cognac rad. Excuse you, we're upper class here.
That's a cognac because you were.
I do hope that Erica is innocent in the expedition. It will make investigating so much easier. Says Lutragen. I guess we'll just have to wait and
no
see.
secrets.
Good. That's diabetic equals 4 jelly beans. That's control.
All right, so
All right.
The lads
so
have left
the
the table.
adventures of Cooper and Archie.
Let's see if we get killed. Alright, so what I'm hoping we do is Archie and Cooper are going to essentially try and corner Theodore, either by deceit, by stealthy, muscly push into a dark corner somewhere, be it a toilet, where they can close the door and say, no, it's out of service. So, or into a back alley somewhere.
this is just either like school bullies or really bad beginning of a smutty fanfic.
Why not both?
I mean, it could be both. There are so many tropes here.
They are not mutually
High school
exclusive.
AU.
So,
Both is good.
knowing full well the layout, A back alley in a ballroom? Not inside the ballroom. Outside. That's what they call it, a back alley. As opposed to a front alley. No one ever goes into the front alley. Why do no one ever go into the front alley?
It's a big hotel, and to be fair, this room is quite big as well. So, I think you will first have to roll a spot hidden to see if you can spot him.
Yeah, he's trying to avoid me. Yeah. But not Cooper.
True.
That is true.
Cooper.
You may both.
Ooh.
Take your gun out.
Cooper, what does your Australian eye sees? What your Aussie eye see?
Can he use intimidate with advantage because he's Australian and loud?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 21 out of 68.
I was
So, yeah.
never gonna
Yeah, you
spot
have
him.
no trouble spotting the one slightly ruffled waiter of the bunch.
Marked.
Yeah, he's traded tables, and he's at one of the side tables. He's just gone around and picked up a number of empty glasses, and he's heading back to the kitchen with a tray full of empty glasses.
Do you go over and say, "G'day, mate"?
So there is a bit of a corridor before you get to the actual kitchen. Like many places, this hotel has alternative routes for staff that will keep them out of the way of the visitors. So to get to the kitchen, there's quite a long corridor with, several rooms. There's probably a toilet there. There's a bucket room for cleaning stuff and such. There's also another corridor that leads down to the staff stairways.
I have no points in any of the social skills.
I was just going to say both are going to accidentally be bad cop.
I mean, that'd be funny. We didn't
But I'm
organize it.
still gonna try, just for shits and giggle.
You can't be intimidatingly nice.
Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
Yeah,
Following.
Well, I see. I see Theodore. I find Archie. So how are we gonna do this? I can if he doesn't recognize, I can pretend I'm sick or something.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. I happen to have something of his. Well, he would think it's his. He takes out the cryptex. Recognize this? Why don't you go somewhere?
I was thinking that. I'm so sorry. Make believe said in chat to get help. And I was just sitting here thinking like,
We're
don't
not doing
say
get
it,
help.
don't say it. They're having a great little scene here, don't say it. I
We're
take
not-
it that Cooper is Thor in this.
We're not doing good help. I hate get help.
Let's do that. Let's do that one.
Yeah, Thor.
You know what? Forget what I was gonna say. Let's do that.
All right, come on.
He's
We're
carrying
not going
glasses.
to get help.
He's carrying glasses, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Tray full of empty glasses.
So I forcefully take Archie and drag him quickly into the hallway after Theodore. Excuse me.
Huh?
I need some help here. My friend, he's. I think he's allergic to something. What was in that last dish?
Cantaloupe? And I'd have to ask the chef. And then sees who it is.
I'll have to ask you to roll an acting.
As he's
Check.
foaming at the mouth at this point, like on purpose, like a lot of bubbles. Like,
That's art and craft acting. If
Are
you
you
don't
shitting
have
me?
anything in it, it's 5.
I'm gonna say that's kind of like fast talk my way through it.
No.
I'm not gonna get that right.
I mean, I'll give you a bonus die for the phenomenal acting on stream.
Art and craft?
Yeah.
What do I just come in there with like a cardboard cutout of disease?
No, it's a specialization under art and craft, acting.
Okay.
You have 0.5 in it if you haven't already put anything
Alright.
in.
Right. I really want this though. I wanna push it.
Oh no.
You actually start foaming.
Did both of us get a
Okay.
bonus die from that one?
Why do you feel like you deserve to push it? Oh wait, Michael has redeemed a reroll with bonus die for you.
Oh, Chris Almighty.
You don't
No.
have to push it yet.
Is it just Archie, or do I have to roll as well?
He's the one making a big show and fuss out of it. You're just lying.
Yeah.
What did you roll? 0.2.
No.
Also, you write this down, Teddy. Literature has redeemed a reroll with a bonus die for you, which you do not have to use yet. But
Okay.
note it down so that you
Nice.
have it
Thank
for
you.
later.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Vicky.
he's actually very convincing. It looks like
Even Cooper is impressed.
yeah, even
You sure?
yeah. You might actually be a little bit concerned, as like, oh shit,
All right,
did he just
all
take
right.
something?
So Theodore had just cocked his head, recognizing this is that, sketchy guy from earlier.
Sketchy.
But
Nice.
then, upon it actually looking like he's really got something wrong with him, starts to stress out. All right. I don't, and then rushes out into the ballroom. Is there a doctor in the house?
Wait, really?
They're blocking your way, so
Oh,
I think it's going to
okay,
be a
they're
little
blocking.
bit difficult for you to do that.
Okay. Then would attempt to make his way. I'm gonna see if there's a doctor in there.
No,
I'm gonna.
help me with him, please. Just help.
I have. I only have a 30 in first aid. That's not gonna work.
Is there a door into a side room?
Hey, 30's pretty good.
Let's see. Just a second.
30's pretty darn good.
Yes, there is.
Excellent. At that, when
there's a
he's
chair
close enough-
in this room. We'll. All right. And
door.
open the door.
Door.
Yep. All right.
And I push him in.
Ah!
All right.
So
Does the door click behind? It's
I
got
push
one
him
of
in,
those
and
like.
we follow and
Yeah.
lock the door behind.
as
If I can
Yeah.
turn the light.
I'm just guessing, like, as you're going in, like, Archie just kind of leans outside and goes, "Bleh," and then closes the door. So fucking although the spit coming down his hair. But you said Gatsby.
This basically looks like a washroom, where a lot of the clothes are put into a chute when it's dirty, and there's
Perfect.
huge trolleys full of dirty napkins and tablecloths and all sorts. There seems to be a laundry room mainly for like the restaurant part of the hotel, so it doesn't seem to be like bed sheets and stuff, but more the textiles used in regards to food. Yes.
Does this door
I
have
like-
a lock?
Sorry?
Is there a lock on this door?
Yes, there is a little sort of click lock, I
Weird.
think. Actually,
I like
I'm not
to,
sure if that they had those, but there is a little key in the door that's kind of like, looks like it's been there for a century. Hang on. It doesn't lock. It just... Yeah, there is the key. You can't lock the door. But it does have a little hanger.
Cool.
Like...
Yeah. I think at the second the door closes behind them and the room's clean, Archie's just going to stand up, clear his mouth, and then just sit down bodily by the door so that he's blocking it. and then looks at Cooper. Cooper, ask this person where he got this from, please. And then just be silent, looking at Theodore.
Theodore also knows that this room has sometimes doubled up as changing room for some of the staff, which is why there is a little lock on the door. But yeah, there's no other way out.
I also imagine that since I have opted to take Dex as my dump stat,
Yeah.
that when you push Theodore in, they stumble over a rolling cart full of dirty napkins and things, and
Yeah.
just sort of
He's like
stumble into it.
head first into laundry.
Yeah.
It smells like someone spilled brown sauce somewhere here.
Trying to scramble his way out. Turns around and looks up at Cooper.
Cooper's just standing over him, all height, all might. Well, you
He's
heard
a
him.
big, broad Australian.
His accent until now has been...
Difficult to place.
difficult to place.
Yeah.
Now it's all old Aussie accent. You heard him, man. Speak.
Show him your knife.
Theodore is going to stand up, also as straight as possible, but Theodore barely brushes, 5'8". Oh wait, you're all European. I don't know what that is in not terrible American.
I think that's just under 170 centimeters.
Yeah.
Because that's approximately, probably around 170. That's around my height. I think I'm 5'6".
And sort of sets his jaw. I don't know what you want, but just because I work at a hotel doesn't mean that you rich people get to bully me. And cracks his knuckles. I grew up in Boston. I can fight for myself.
Oh.
And
this...
just chill.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Oh, I love him so much.
Takes off his tailcoat, rolls up the sleeves.
It's an audible gulp.
You see his forearms with shrapnel scars and some burns. All right.
Also,
Also, at that
roll a
point,
spot
you also
hidden.
see
Ren.
me or
Me?
Yeah,
Oh,
Ren.
okay.
yeah.
Before...
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
You forgot.
I forgot. I was getting to it.
I have rolled a 62, which is just under my 75 spot hidden.
Well, first and foremost, you standing close up, you notice that he has war medals on his coat.
Wouldn't they be hung around his...
No, they're on the
medals.
Medals.
Right, don't tax.
What else was it you thought of if it wasn't that, Teddy?
Yeah. When he removes his coat, you can see the outline of a gun holster.
Oh yeah.
Hanging on the lower side.
That removes all the bluster, and the fists uncurl and turn into outstretched hands. I assure you, I have nothing you want, mister.
Oh, but you do. He points to Archie and the cryptex.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more about that.
Is Archie now holding it up?
Oh yeah. Excuse you? Archie's never stopped holding it up. You've been ignoring him like, I don't believe in fairies. Or some shit. Jesus.
And his jaw drops, and he pats his... Where did you get that?
Oh. This? Oh, I don't know. It was somewhere between your left side and... yes, there. Right on your... It was a tough pocket, but I've dealt with worse.
You people.
You people? Oof, we're there.
Stealing things from a waiter? Bullies.
What's your name?
Rich bullies.
Name?
Theodore.
Well, Theo, my associate
Door.
and good friend, the sergeant here, is going to ask you that question again. And I suggest, politely, that you answer. Sergeant?
This little toy, or whatever it is, tell us more about it. Please. I have no idea what it is.
Thanks. It's a Rubik's Cube on steroids.
I found it,
Oh no.
and I intend to research it.
That's not.
But I found it, and you stole it, and finding is more valid than theft.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong answer.
What was the right answer?
Just 411. Wouldn't Theodore recognize that it was connected to the woman that was missing?
I don't know. Would he connect it to it?
Maybe not necessarily.
I mean, it was underneath the bookshelf,
Where?
and no, I didn't. The Theodore didn't say
Oh, right,
that.
yeah,
I'm saying
Yeah.
that. I'm trying to reason this out. It was underneath the bookshelf. I think at some point, maybe not under duress, Theodore could think about it a little bit more. But it all happened so fast, and he pocketed it, and then had to rush to the hotel job. So it just hasn't really clicked.
Yeah.
See,
Question. Is it as Little Gem says? Is it Ashling?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The very
So,
same.
so Cooper would recognize it.
yes.
Yeah.
And Archie's
Sans the
mentioned
box.
it. Sorry. Is Cooper going to say something?
Yeah.
Is he going to say a little
It
thing?
looks at it. I think what we have to know is that this little box belongs to someone who we care about. Who some of us care about.
That doesn't make any sense because it was in my books. Oh golly.
Uh-huh.
So you
D-
said
do-
anything
do-
about finding versus theft.
Do you know Miss Burnell? She's very smart, very pretty lady. Has good taste in books.
Yes.
Yes.
Continue.
Is she?
Sorry, you cut out there.
Where do you know where she is?
Oh, yes. Let me just pull on the leash. No, I don't know where she is. She should have been here today. But as you can see, the seat is empty. Do
And
you...
Oh
sure
no.
with this.
Oh no.
See how it looks?
Oh Theodore. Oh Theodore, you were being very stupid again. Oh, I should have called the police.
Yes. It depends on...
Not on you! Not on you! That's not what I meant. No. There was a lady. She comes into my bookstore sometimes, and she often requisitions, the more interesting books because she's. I don't know what she's got going on, but I've always wanted to ask. Came in tonight to get a book on. A book on how to decipher puzzle boxes. Oh, I'm really stupid. And I was getting it, and then I thought maybe she fell or something. She knocked the books got knocked over, and then she was gone. And then oh.
Share a glance with Cooper at hearing that. Ah. Fuck. He stands up and opens the door. Theodore, if you want my advice, first, tell me when this happened and where. And second, pray you don't get involved. You give him-
I work at Henderson's bookshop.
Yes.
This was about a few minutes before closing. It was almost 6.
That checks out approximately with when she left. Actually, it might have been around 5 because it's a Saturday and you close a little earlier than.
Right. Sorry. Around
I
5.
say.
Cooper's before that question, Cooper's gonna take a look at just whisper to Archie, just keep him here for at least 2 minutes.
I can do that.
And Cooper walks out, and he's gonna walk over to the kitchen and get some ingredients.
Oh God, he gets sodium pentothal.
No.
Oh my.
So I'm thinking he will come back.
We will get back to you.
We're gonna make a pizza.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great.
Theodore is just now like no longer standing up straight, is just clutching the edge of this basket of dirty napkins, looking very regretful. Obviously, it's a kidnapping. This is. Oh no.
If only it was just that. Honestly, right now, I don't know who I feared more for. My darling sister, who I loathe and detest and couldn't live without, or those horrid lot that kidnapped her.
At loathe and detest, there was another little nostril flare.
Mm-hmm. And couldn't live without.
Theodore's so confused about you.
Yes.
Aren't we all?
Not the first one.
Sounds about right. Should we find out what's happening with Peggy Pegster?
Yes, let's
Peggy.
go to Peggy and Erica Carlisle.
Before coming back to Teddy and his pizza of torture.
Oh god, you're gonna
Pizza
talk
of
to me. Oh
Torture pizza.
Oh.
This
Using
this poor little nerd.
We're gonna have some fun with Theodore. Yeah.
Teddy on Teddy action.
So,
Oh.
good grief. So, back
It's not
in
that
the
bad.
ballroom, the lads have left Erica Carlisle a little bit, for once, tongue-tied. She's just looking as they leave, literally clutching her pearls, and just follows them with her gaze as they leave, and then, as if remembering herself, she just snaps back to you. Right. So.
Archie does that. I hope you won't keep that against him.
Hold that against him.
Thank you. Hold that against him.
Oh, I most certainly will, but I am more
Yeah,
interested
he's a
in what
special
you have
type
to
of gem.
say about this.
Special
Yes,
gem.
that is clear. So, Jack Brady might be alive. Is that what
Yes.
you are insinuating?
Absolutely.
Jack Brady alive. And you're sure of this?
Not 100% sure, but the clues we've found and with Archie's time in Shanghai, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah. We're fairly certain. It's a bit of a gamble, but it's something there.
She takes up her purse, opens it up, takes out a little leather sort of booklet and a pen. Spreads it open. It's very clearly a checkbook. And she starts writing on it. I would like to hire your services as a lady detective to investigate the rather odd circumstances of my brother's death and to find the whereabouts of Mr. Jack Brady.
Mm-hmm.
She hands you the check.
I'm guessing this is
This check
is entirely too much.
Is blank.
entirely too much.
Yeah. Oh, blank.
This
yeah.
is like, you have never taken this much from a job. Usually you take like just a symbolic sum because you don't technically need the money. This would be enough to work as capital to start your father's business all over again.
And she knows exactly how much that is.
3 dresses. 3.5 dresses.
I mean,
She
3
looks-
department stores. Yeah.
She looks at you very sternly and then she says, "My brother was a good-for-nothing, playboy, drunken mess. And most of the time I loathed him. And he nearly ran the entire business to the ground, but I wouldn't wish him dead. Not like that. Not like that. And if he, or anyone who followed him down to that cursed country, is alive, I would like to know."
Absolutely. I promise you, we will do our best. This, thank you. This is... Just
We do
Trying
not
not to
speak
say
more about.
intimidating.
We do not speak more about business now. I do believe the main dish is about to be served, and suddenly her entire exterior kind of changes, and suddenly she's in like pleasant hostess mode, as if nothing had happened, and is like you catch on pretty quickly. And if that wasn't enough, the smell of the main course certainly is, because there are trolleys being put out into the room that fill the entire air with the smell of just succulent deer, probably freshly hunted, and it's just cooked perfectly. The sauce or garniture is just like it almost looks a little yellowy, and there's like this hint of citrusy scent in the air, and there's like all these root vegetables cut like little shapes and oven baked, and there's garlic butter filling like each of these shapes. It's like, for example, there's potatoes and sweet potatoes cut like little flowers with a dollop of garlic butter inside them. Just like, ugh.
I'm so happy I just ate.
I'm sorry if there are any vegans or vegetarians here. Erica Carlisle is most certainly not.
She would
And I'm
probably
hungry
come
now.
by
I'm gonna have a snack.
Side questions. The yellowish, citrusy taste smell thing, is that on all the dishes? Because I think I remember you saying that from the first dish as well.
Yes, it's like a theme that there is something citrusy that hints like a hint of citrus at every single dish, but it's presented in a very different way each time. So it's kind of like this. It brings this whole like red thread through the entire meal menu composition.
Can I do a poison check or something?
Yes.
Because I'm just suspicious now.
Oh.
It's when the GM misunderstands and
Like make
you know,
everyone forget and give all their money to charity or something.
A skein of red, perhaps.
Skein of red. I have not heard that word used in forever. Plus, you know that Evie means that she wants to check for poison, not put in poison. Okay, there's
Yes.
big difference. Okay.
Yes.
Peggy would never.
Yeah, I would.
Is that natural world medicine or is it something I actually have?
See.
Arts and crafts, baby.
Well, that Peggy's number there is good. So
Yeah. Let's see. I think that would probably be pharmacy or something. Science?
sorry.
Yeah.
Was
I would say science as a
Oh, that.
yeah. Yeah.
There's one roll that would make this successful.
Yep.
Nah.
No.
Nope. No. It's delightfully tangy. Reminds Peggy of Spain. No, Italy.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like there's nothing that you can think of that kind of. Oh, you have a reroll, Peggy.
Oh.
Well,
Thank you.
there's a 1% chance.
What?
Yeah, I'll try. It's less, but no. Thank
No.
you, though.
Thankfully, no one gets poisoned tonight. Unless you decide to poison
Tonight.
someone. Please don't try to poison
maybe
someone.
Peggy sees someone she doesn't like and just makes them have to go to the toilet the entire evening. Like
God.
polite society does.
You should test all the food, even while people are trying to eat it. You know.
Oh dear. But yeah, no. There is nothing wrong with the food. There is literally nothing wrong with the food. You couldn't find fault even if you tried. This is possibly the most immaculate meal you have ever devoured in your entire life. The only thing that could heighten it, the only thing, would have been like a carefully matched wine.
I'm sorry, Teddy. We missed the meal.
Cooper didn't. Cooper went to the kitchen.
Is that why he went to the kitchen?
You go in there to grab whatever it is that you're going to torture me with. You grab a fork, you stick it in one of the plates of the main dishes that's going around. You're just like eating the main course like it's a popsicle on your fork.
I mean,
Cooper
to be
gets
fair,
the things he's actually getting, grabs the forks, stabs the meat. And could have used another month of maturing.
oh no, it really couldn't. The meat is just, it's like butter.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm
just like that perfect balance. And you're Australian, I
It's a
forget.
Also, I'm just gonna go for one of my pet peeves. Wild meat should always mature for long. It's not freshly killed.
Okay, then it probably wasn't. Then that is my bad. Because I don't know shit about stuff like that.
I just want to point out that last time Theodore saw Teddy was saying, Cooper was saying, "I want to go to the kitchen. I need a few things. Don't go anywhere." And then he's gonna come back with food,
Munch,
just
munch,
eating
munch,
it.
munch,
like,
munch.
No.
It has been stored sufficiently,
oh, sorry, do you want some?
in spite of the keeper's lacking knowledge in how to treat wild meat. Yes,
Continue,
it is.
continue, continue.
It is succulent and perfect, and you're probably greasy after it. What? I was feeling snackish. Yes,
I'm
indeed.
hungry.
So are
you-
Archie and Theodore just sort of staring each other down right now?
Yes, we're doing a salmon bucky thing at the moment.
For those of you who have watched Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, if not, don't give any
Haven't
spoilers.
yet.
No spoilers.
Okay, Theodore's just like clutching the edge of this thing, like I said, and then there's like a long silence on his end. Then finally, he kind of squeaks out, "Are you spies? Are you gonna disappear me?"
Oh, this is gonna be one of those where both Archie and Cooper just stop staring at each other and just turn towards him in absolute disbelief. Sergeant? I don't know.
Sergeant's not there.
Oh yeah.
He's coming back soon. He's
Yes.
coming back very soon.
Are we spies? What would a spy say? Theodore?
No idea, but I'm definitely too unimportant to kill. I'll go back to my bookshop and I'll never mention any of this ever again.
Oh, books. They're the most dangerous thing of all. Have you ever
I
heard
don't
of,
disagree with you.
I mean, have you heard of the threat of communism? Free thought?
Was that a thing in the 1920s yet?
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a threat yet, but
It was starting.
It was
yeah,
only
I mean,
just starting out.
The Russian Tsar had been overthrown and all of that shit. So
Paper
Literally,
cuts are a bitch.
it's where the expression overthrown came from, because they literally threw the Tsar over something. That's what it would. True story. Bullshitting. So,
Yeah.
would be cool though.
it would be cool, right?
Instead, his own guards shot him and his entire family.
Oh, my story's better.
Moving swiftly on.
Yes. So you just watch Archie talking to himself a little bit and stops as if he just remembered where he is. No, I'm not a spy. Spies, well, they wouldn't push you into this room. They'd probably just drag you into the alley and shoot both your eyes.
Audible gulp again.
It's a very noisy swallowing thing you have there. You want to get that checked out?
I'm sorry.
Theo, I'm going to level with you, buddy, friend. You've stepped in something very, very bad. It's not even your fault, really. Now, the real problem is, we let you go today. There's a chance that you'll be able to go back to your own life and everything will be fine. You know, you'll meet that girl who doesn't end up getting kidnapped. Maybe make some small Theos. Get a divorce. Get another marriage. Who knows? Or you may wake up one morning with your entire organs ripped out and someone wearing a mask with a wet, slobbering tongue right attached to it, right there, is holding your heart in his hand while chanting or something. And you're thinking to yourself, was it a Monday? Point is, Cooper will be back soon. He'll know what to do.
And Cooper's back.
Oh, thank the gods. Sergeant?
When you come back, Cooper, Theodore's face is just like he's a really pale white dude, but even paler. It's just like all color has drained.
He's kind of matching the napkins.
Yeah. Cooper's gonna look at Archie. Has he said anything we wanted to hear?
I've been completely silent. I mean, he's just been getting... We haven't spoken a word, really. I think he's broken.
Okay. Let's fix that. He walks over with a cup.
Oh yeah.
There's some steam coming off the cup, and you can't help but notice the smell of chamomile and citrus.
Sigh.
He hands it over to Theodore.
What is
Drink. Oh, one more thing. He picks up a pocket flask and pours a few drops of cognac into the cup.
You said you didn't have any left. Monster.
Theodore
Theodore.
doesn't say anything, just looks and locks eyes with Archie as if, like, asking permission to do this.
Theodore.
He nods. You may.
Takes the cup. Like, double fisting this cup, like...
Comes in pints.
It's honestly chamomile tea with a few large chunks of whatever citrus they had in the kitchen and a few drops of cognac. The perfect recipe for when you're in shock.
Oh.
There's the nice cup. A good cup.
Or does not know what's going on. Theodore thinks probably pretty soon maybe he's gonna fall over and die of poison. But the scary one leaning up against the door has told him to drink, so he's continuing to drink.
So, Theodore, do you have a last name?
Atkinson?
Atkinson.
I could tell that's not a fake name.
Listen, Mr. Atkinson. This thing belonged to a friend of ours, his sister. The fact that you showed up with it and she didn't show up at all makes us worry. And
I had no idea that she was going to be here. I came to spy on...
Exactly. I think we can safely determine that you haven't hurt her. Because in reality, if you try to attack her or anything, she would probably have kicked your ass. Let's be honest.
Uh-huh.
Archie, did you pick up on that?
Uh-huh.
Good. If not, I would have asked you to roll for it.
And, well, then I think we just have not a theft, as you said, but a misunderstanding. So I want you to relax and tell us everything you saw and everything you know. And as my friend here has probably already advised you, after we're done, forget everything.
So you are spies?
Oh,
No. Not spies.
I'm a reprobate. He's a PTSD-ridden war vet. I would say shell-shocked war veteran, if you will.
I was in Verdun.
I mean, I kind of did tell you everything. She came in and was looking for the book, and I went to go get the book. And I was, trying to give myself a few minutes to sort of figure out how I was maybe gonna, ask her if she looks at Archie again. Advice on books. And then there was a loud noise, and I called out, and she didn't answer, and I came out, and she was not there, and the bookshelf was knocked over, and...
We need to tell Peggy.
Do you think she's hurt?
I don't think, Theodore. Believe me when I say it's a bad habit. Act. But don't think. I am a terrible role model. Anyway. The sergeant here can give you our contact details, maybe? Or our address. Should you need anything, or should you remember anything?
He hands him one of Peggy's cards.
Your pig is giving her a card
All
to
right.
everyone.
Archie has 3. One of them's signed.
Worth absolutely nothing.
Yet.
Just takes the card and says, "All right."
Probably gonna regret this. Theo.
Door.
Sorry.
Yes.
Force
Yes.
of habit. Theodore. He gingerly underhand tosses you the cryptex, which you
Tries to catch it.
with one hand.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, let me know if you open it. Or don't.
Ooh, interesting.
Cooper's gonna start to leave and stop. How much do you make an hour doing this job?
Oof. Rude.
Oh, I'm most certainly fired for having disappeared.
Nonsense. You just saved my life. I'll tell everyone.
He turns around and puts a few notes of money in the pocket. Thank you for your service. And then leaves.
Oh.
We can discuss how much it is afterwards.
Yes.
I have no idea how money works in this game.
I'm gonna give you one resource. So,
He's
Archie's
basically given you probably what's a month's worth of wage at your waiter job.
just so it's said, by the way, we don't have to roll probably out, but Archie's gonna go straight to the maitre d' or someone and say, that man over there, he saved my life. I was choking on chicken bone, and I would have died if it wasn't for him. I'm sorry I kept him busy.
Cooper is right behind him and backs up Archer's story.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
complete hero. Excellent.
Question: Do you actually seek up like the management, or like the manager, the floor manager?
Yes.
Probably easy to spot.
Yeah, there's been a host, if you will, it'd probably be like a butler or something, I don't know, who's been overseeing everything and has been kind of shouting out orders and here and there among the staff, albeit quietly, as if so as to not interrupt the guests.
Get a fucking move on.
So yeah, you easily find this man and kind of like pull Theo up and it's like this young strapping lad here, blah blah blah, and between the two of you, I don't even have to ask for a freaking fast talk roll because he's just like standing there listening. It's like, is this true, Mr. Atkinson? And he doesn't wait for an answer, and then he just like looks. That is terrific work. Why don't you take the rest of the evening off? Yes. Good job. Good job. Right along.
You can have some food scraps.
Yeah. Doggy
I
bag.
guarantee you that Theodore is terrible at this job, breaks plates all the time, and so the boss is probably really relieved to give him the rest of the night off, especially on a very important night.
Yeah. But he's also kind of like, huh, the kid did something useful for a change. Wonderful. Give him the night off.
That's so relatable. That is so relatable. This guy has kids.
Theodore just disappears. It's just like filters away. Just
Is it like Batman? Like smoke pellet? Like Theodore-shaped smoke cloud? He was going through it all along. Oh, hold on. Teddy, psychic high five. Wait, is it this way?
No, other side.
Other side, this one. Psychic high five, and... I'm waiting for you.
One,
Other way,
two,
other way,
three,
and
go.
Click.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get it up.
Alright, right. It's just so sad. Oh, no! Stupid gravity. We return
Yes, just in
Excellent.
time for the first. No, it would have been probably the second dessert, which is scrumptious. Probably like a glorified creme brulee. Oh no, actually. This is crema catalana, which is it's like a creme brulee, but without the crunchy bitterness on top. And again, there's that hint of citrusy taste in it. And it's kind of just like, it is like the most exquisite pudding you've ever tasted in your entire life. And it's just like, it's almost as if it has a hint of alcohol in it.
Ooh.
Gone.
For the record, crema catalan is a Catalonian version of creme brulee, and it's delicious.
And
it
you
is.
can get a drink. You
Yes.
can get it as a drink for.
The last dessert is a little tray of perfectly chosen cheeses with some grapes and, you know, the lot. Ironically, many Brits want to stay. So, let's see, where am I? There we are.
Emotionally scarred waiter.
Yes.
I consider this a metaphorical. This is like a meta revenge. Waiter number 1, emotionally scars Archie. Waiter number 2, Archie emotionally scars waiter.
Yes.
You do
Sending
some
it
type of thing for
forward?
waiters.
Yes. Archie waits for no waiter. Yes. What's this?
I think we're gonna just kind of wrap it up there, unless any of you want to do any scenes before we wrap up. Perhaps a little bit of a epilogue on how Theo is dealing with all this new information.
Actually, yeah, if we fast forward to everyone, you know, filtering away from the hotel and Mr. Burnell, Mr. Cooper, and Miss Andrews leaving the hotel, there's just like a small sort of like little ahem after them. Mr. Burnell?
Who said that?
Me? Hi.
Oh, sorry. Couldn't tell if it was, inside or outside. Yes, go on. I'm not a spy.
So, and then just sort of like looks at the three of you. Are you gonna go try to save her?
Theodore Atkinson. Yes, that's quite right. That was your name. Why would you ask that?
I want to help.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Is Ashling missing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Peggy has been updated, and you've
Oh,
probably
no!
also been
Oh, no!
updated.
I thought it would be funny if it was now, but
No,
Oh
that's
yeah, that's actually
Stay
perfect.
here. I'll go to the kitchen and fetch some more
Like,
chamomile tea.
who's
That is actually more
this?
likely,
What is
considering you've been eating with Erica Carlisle, and you probably wouldn't want to bring this up in the
deep
middle of dinner.
conversation?
So I
Yeah.
meant to tell you, but then dessert was served, and then I tried to tell you again, and then the
You forgot
second
about your
dessert-
sister because of dessert.
You would too if you grew up with her. What? What? Hey, so anyway, Theodore. This is going on. Yes, we are. But one thing you need to understand, and I realise that you're an adult here, but if you want to help, you need to accept the very strong likelihood that you are going to, and this is if you're lucky, straight up die. And believe me, there are worse things than simply casting off your mortal coil. If you're okay with that, then sure. Otherwise, go to bed, drink more tea, forget we ever met. 5 seconds to decide. 5, 4, 3,
I flared again,
2,
and then there's just like a little huff.
1.
I'm gonna solve this thing, then you'll see. And walks away.
Oh, I like him.
Cooper looks at him. Yeah.
I
It's good guts.
fucking like this one. What do you reckon? Should we just follow him and let him do all the work? Yeah.
I don't know. Let him come to us.
After the performance I just gave, he's not coming to us unless he's either dead or onto something that's about to kill him. All right,
Michael
we'll do
says, "Can we
Ooh,
keep him?"
We could visit the store tomorrow.
that. That's true. Hang on.
No worries.
Can we say that Archie and Cooper turn around to Peggy and say, "So, could we keep him?" I love that.
Well, Peggy hired the last one.
Unfortunately, the shop is probably closed tomorrow because it's a Sunday, and I believe back in the 1920s, shops tended to be shut on Sundays.
Well,
Gotta love those blue laws.
I can find out where he lives.
Yeah, we'll find him somehow.
Well, we met his manager.
Well, he knows where you live now, so. All right.
Mhm.
Bat signal.
Book signal.
Book signal.
Now, should we rescue those cultists from my sister?
Yeah. You think that's what's happened?
I mean, headcanon? Yes. I could only imagine. But we're going to have to
Poor
find out.
unfortunate cultists.
Yes.
Poor unfortunate cultists who took a Burnell.
And thus a cosmic horror was born.
All right, thank you so much, all four of you, for a fantastic session. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you so much, Ren, for stepping in on such short notice. She's
pleasure.
chopping them to pieces, incinerating them remains as we speak, says Michael. And not to mention, thank you so much to everyone in the chat who has been joining us on this adventure up until now and watching today. We will be back in 2 weeks with episode 9 of Dangerous Cults and Where to Find Them. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week, wonderful Easter, for those of you who celebrate it. And
Today?
yeah.
No.
This week. Yeah. And remember to answer the call. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.